Center on the campus of Rhode Island College in the capital of Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island, for the RIIL Boys Division I Volleyball Championships presented by Ortho Rhode Island. Alongside Robin Lamont Sparks, I'm George Bannister, and Robin, we got an exciting Division I matchup. Last night we saw Lincoln take its first ever program title in Division II. This afternoon, two heavy hitters in Division I, including a team in Chariho that upset the top seed in North Kingstown.
I think it will be a pretty exciting match. I think it will be very interesting to see how Chariho handles the height of Lasalle. Lasalle's considerably bigger, but if they play some decent defense and can keep Lasalle out of the system, this could be a great match.
Starting lineups are set. Officials are awaiting the ready to go after some final instructions. Just want to say we also have Sydney Sparks, Robin's daughter, sitting next to us, providing some much needed stats. As volleyball's fast paced, we can't certainly keep an eye on the court and on writing down notes on pieces of paper.
We do our best.
We do our best, so we thank Sydney here for her work all afternoon. And we thank you for tuning in with us. Chariho will get the first service as soon as we get the ready to go. And we'll bring you some highlights between both of these teams as they come along. Opening service, decent receive by Lasalle. Dink opportunity denied. Great job there by Quinn Spizzato getting the dig for Chariho. From the back row, a hit goes out of bounds, and it'll be Chariho with the first point.
I would expect as we see the game go on, they're really going to try to get, Lasalle's going to try and get the ball to Johnson. He led the team in attacks this year, or kills, 337 kills, which is more than twice anybody else on the team.
Service goes into the net, so we're all tied up at 1. And an opportunity here for Lasalle to take over here offensively. Decent service. Not a bad reception there by Azanaro, and it leads to a nice kill for the Chargers.
Tiernan has been one of their more consistent hitters all year, hit 340 for the season.
From the middle, big boom blast by Abu Lamé, and LaSalle tallies it up at 2, their middle hitter.
We're going to hear his name quite a bit. He is a high-flying kid, that's for sure.
See him get up well over the net there and come down with a mega swing. Neither team able to get some semblance of momentum. We're going to get a legal hit against Chariho and carry, so it's 3-2 LaSalle here early in this first set. We want to thank Robin Lamont Sparks, club volleyball cheerleader, former Division I collegiate coach, in joining us. No pressure, but she'll bring some great insight into this match on the broadcast, I'm sure. Good feed to the outside. Better job by Abulame to kind of deny that for Chariho. Now he gets the return and booms it home. 4-2 LaSalle.
And I think that's what we're going to see all day. They're really going to have to keep LaSalle out of system, because if LaSalle's in system, that ball's going to him every single time. He is way above the rest of the court.
Great feed there by Abdul Razak, of course. Those of you in Rhode Island are familiar with that name. He's a part of the LaSalle basketball team as well, and this time combined with Abulame for the block at the net, and it's 5-2 Rams.
Abulame averages 1.5 blocks per set. I anticipate seeing just that many again today.
5-2 Rams. Ooh, tricky reception there by the Chargers. Forced to get it over, and it's wide near side. 6-2 LaSalle. Having a difficult time with that was Brandon Knowles on the reception. This time Knowles able to handle a little better. A little mishit there by the Chargers, so they have to get it over. Goes to the middle, no surprise. They send it outside for an attempted dink by Jack Johnson. That didn't work. A block by Abulame. They're going to have to get this ball over right now, and they do. Free play for the Chargers. bad pass toward the middle was denied by Abdul Razak and Abulame, and again they come up with a combined block, 7-2 Lasalle.
Yeah, right now Poplawski's got to really start changing up his offense. That is a massive block over against his outside hitter. He's going to need to try to run something a little different.
Deep service. Chariho able to receive it, but Abulame all alone in the middle, coming up with a major block.
Right. I mean, Poplawski has not set his middle attacker at all, and Abulame's just leaving him. He's not able to hold him at all. So, you know, on the outside, they've got 2 big blocks up there. 7
straight points here for Lasalle, and an opportunity for an 8th. Comes to the outside. Big swing from Jack Johnson, and that's a point for Lasalle. 9-2 Rams. They're on an 8-0 run right now.
If you're Chariho right now, I think, you know, I would be trying to run something out of the back row a little bit just to change the pace. There's a communication error. That's one where you really want the libero to take charge on that.
And we're going to get our first timeout of the afternoon. It's going to
driving. You are
by the Rams, have them up 10-2. Finally, Coach Lucas Marlin mercifully calling timeout for Chariho.
You know, and I think Chariho right now, all of their attempts have been Matthew Tierney. All of them. So they've got to get somebody else, because all that's happening is LaSalle's just standing in front of him before he even gets the set.
Well, that's part of good coaching, right? Good scouting. Comes to the middle.
That's what they needed to have happen.
It's Travis Plint with the big boom.
Right. I mean, they hadn't been expecting him to get the ball. And that was in system, so he was able to run that. But, you know, if Travis can get moving and spread the offense a little bit, that'll help them.
Travis Plint picking up a much-needed point here for Chariho and an opportunity to serve. Let's see if they can hold. That big boom from the back middle is good, and LaSalle will take possession again.
So now, if you're Chariho, you have to look. Never going to say that name right. Because they've got a smaller blocker now against the right side. So
on the near side,
smart swing, nice and flat.
Lisi's swing goes off the fingertips of the Chariho defender. It's a point for the Rams. 12-3 they lead. Chariho gains this final by defeating East Greenwich in a sweep 3-0. And then upending top-seeded North Kingstown 3-2. They went up 2-0, Robin, and then lost the next 2 sets and were somehow able to squeak out a 15-13 fifth set win. And a service error will give the Rams the ball right back. And we'll get our first substitution of the day, as Abulame will get a rest for the Rams, as will Ty Cotta. 13-14 Rams, they're on service. Nice deep serve. Coming near side. Kind of a miss hit as it went flat to the back row where Rams were able to play it. This time the big boom just out of bounds. And it'll be Rams point and service still 14-4.
Yeah, I mean, right now, that was a good set. I mean, I think they're really going to have to get their right side going, because that's the smaller block. I mean, you got a sub in there and you just have just as big a block over on the right side.
Service error for LaSalle. That'll bring it to 14-5. Chargers with the service here, down by 9 points. Good play by the Rams to play that ball a little closer than the back line. Let's see if it pays off. The block on the far side falls out of bounds, so
used the block really well on that. I thought he was going to get step blocked. That ball was way outside the pin. He did a really good job keeping it in play.
Lead is trimmed to 14-6. Little changeup of the serve. After the dig, the return pass goes.
Gotta make sure. You know, Ben Christensen needs to realize his middle coming against him is a lefty. You don't see lefty middles very often.
Razak setting up to the near side. Big drive by Lisi, gets through the block and he'll get the points. Abdul-Razak, who had the service error, you could see, and it's interesting, Sydney was kind of telling us during our commercial break as well, you could tell he's an athlete and volleyball isn't necessarily his primary sport, simply because of that, and you can tell again through that serve, but he could surely set with the best of them. He does it again for Lisi. Big drive is able to be kept in play by the Chargers, and a quick turnaround for Poplawski for the point.
Yeah, that was the middle hold in the middle. Like, he was able to hold the blockers, and that's what they've got to have happen every single time.
16-8. LaSalle led as much as 10-2 in this first set. It's down to 8, 16-8. Set goes far side. Chargers able to dig it out.
Right in the net.
Net violation there by Jack Johnson, and it's now 16-9.
Yeah, it came right down on top of the net.
Both good and bad to be able to leap that high, but you have to have control of your body, especially when you're that close to the net. Misplay by LaSalle. Abdul-Razak trying to play it back for his back row. It falls harmlessly out of bounds for the Chargers, and it's now 16-10 with the service. And a service error will give the ball right back to LaSalle. Substitution, and Abulame will come back in. That young man that you see, that tall young man you see stepping into the middle for LaSalle is just a junior. Service error for the Rams, and the teams trade service errors, and it's 17-11. Go ahead, Bob.
That junior you just talked about, he's been recognized by the American Volleyball Coaches Association as one of the up-and-coming players that's not a senior. He will play at the next level. He is way over the net.
Just the hang time there. That pass by Abdul-Razak wasn't the best, and he hung up there for about 4 or 5 seconds before making an attempt on that ball.
No, he's well over 10. He's touching. I mean, he may be close to 11. He's way in the air.
Good deep serve. Can Chariho do anything? Nope. Abulame and Abdul-Razak both say no sir to the outside. And to your credit, what you've been pointing out most of this match, they got to do something. They got to force middle.
That's right. You cannot run him. If they could be running, I mean, these setters up right now, if their middle could run a slide, that's what they need to be doing.
They go to the middle, and it's Abulame and Jack Johnson who come away with the block.
Yeah, and Johnson knows he's not running slides, so he's just cheating way over. They've got to spread the offense.
Rams 20, Chargers 11. We're almost done through the first set. Another big block. I thought that ball went under the net. A push into the back corner, and it falls in for Nick Lisi, and it's 21-11. Azanaro is asking for a carry on that, but it was all fingertips pushed to the back corner. Good deep serve to the back near corner for LaSalle. They try to go outside again and again. Matt Tiernan denied. This time, wide outside. So it's LaSalle's serve again, 22-11.
Yeah, he just tried to go off an elbow, and that's what he's got to do. He's going to have to really go off the side of their arms and try and swing it out of bounds. If they can set the ball inside a little bit and let him just swing towards the bleachers in better shape.
Difficult reception again.
There you go. That's how I do. He went off the outside hand, trying to turn it away. That's what he's going to need to do. He's not going to go through that block.
22-12 now. Chariho with the serve. Poplawski trying to get some sort of momentum here with this service point for the Chargers. Nice deep serve. Abulame able to play it up. Abdul-Razak gets it over the net. In the middle it goes! And the Chargers get the points. Travis Plant.
Yeah, he recognized he didn't have a second block. He only had 2 blockers up, and they were on body, so he went cross well.
Service ace for the Chargers, 22-14. Is that something you want to see Chariho try to do more often? Work the ball sideline to sideline, get a Boulomé moving away from a block position?
Yeah, because Johnson and they're going triple block in the middle right now because they haven't. Now, right now they've got 3 hitters, so they'll be in better shape.
Good dig by the Chargers, but a carry on the secondary attempt, and it's 23-14 LaSalle.
And what Chariho's got to do is really, they need to serve them out of their offense. It's about being really careful about who they're serving to make it more difficult for them to run something off a service team.
Opportunity here coming in from the back line is Tiernan. He gets rejected at the net. Near side, Lisi! Yes, sir! Set point for the Rams.
I mean, and the difference in the blocks you can see, Chariho's, they're getting maybe mid-forearm over the net. LaSalle's got armpits over the net. So it's a really, Chariho's job is going to be to do everything they can to keep LaSalle out of their offense.
LaSalle has an opportunity to break serve for the set here. Abdul-Razak for a Boulomé, and there it is.
That's way too easy a serve. That's one where they need to be painting that back line, back up those passers. Hopefully they'll pass it off the net for him. It makes a big difference.
LaSalle on service up 1-0 here in this RIIL Boys Division I Championship game from the Murray Center. And again, it's a Boulomé, and he was joined at the net. I believe that was Jack Johnson for the block.
Yes, it was. And that's Poplawski's. He's got to call something different. You cannot run them right to those two. There's not a lot that he's going to do, except he needs to tip over him when he sees the double block. A lot of times that's open.
Trying to go opposite, and with some success is Matt Tiernan, and the score's tied at 1, and Chariho with the opportunity to serve. I like the angle there that Tiernan attacked with.
Yeah, he went way, the ball was outside and far enough off the net. He's been trap set a lot, and then he hasn't had any chance to use the block.
Good dig there for the Chargers. Comes back out. Tiernan again tries to go outside. A Boulomé has to get it over. Chargers with the opportunity to set this offense. So far side, Jack Johnson says no.
Well, and that was way too tight to the net. When you're going against a team this big and you're that small, you need to run your offense about 5 feet off the net, and they're not doing that. Poplawski keeps putting it way too tight, like this is a tiny team. Give your hitters a shot to use those big blockers.
Rams up 2-1. Johnson on service for LaSalle. Comes near side a little too far back for Spazzato, who didn't get a good piece. A Boulomé does, and it's 3-1 LaSalle.
Boulomé being really smart, just staying right with his setter. They're running it right in front of him, based on the setter, not the location on the court. It's the way I like to run an offense.
Questionable service reception there by the Chargers. They play on. Johnson from the back row. Chargers able to dig it out. Coming near side. A dink opportunity for Tiernan. A Boulomé read it and denied it. Johnson with his own on the other end. Chargers can't keep it in bounds. It's 4-1 Rams.
Yeah, I mean, he can tip that ball. If he tips that ball along the net, he's got a better shot at it. I think it's really open. I don't think either team is taking advantage of that. And that's what I'd like to see Knowles do. When he goes up, quit trying to swing through him. Make them play some defense behind them.
Good deep service from the Rams.
There, that's off the net. Now he can do something with that. That was what we were talking about. If he can get it 5 feet off the net, Tiernan's smart enough to use them.
It's almost like you know what you're talking about, Robin. Again, Robin Lamont Sparks, we want to thank her. She's a former Division I coach over at Quinnipiac College, or university now, I guess.
Yes.
Bit of a
There you go. Again, there's that spot. That's what I'm like. They've got to do some things differently. We've seen LaSalle in system because they haven't had pressure put on them.
Spazzato that time on the far side. They drop it back row behind the back. They're going to say it fell out of bounds.
Yeah, he said behind him, when you're going to bring someone in hitting that pipe from the back row, you want to set it about 8 feet off the net because they can land in front of the line.
Abdul-Razak with the set to the outside. It's going to be successful. That's Lisi, who's been very successful on near side when they're serving right to left, and now far side as they serve left to right.
Yeah, he's the outside hitter, pin hitter, and he's doing a good job. I think one of those, when his chin goes up, he's going to launch that ball, and that's where Chariho's got to pull their hands down, let him launch it out of bounds.
Tricky serve return there for Chariho. It was a tight set by Spazzato, and unable to do anything was Travis Plant.
If he had gone behind, their middle would never have followed him. You can see where his eyes are not there. He just knows everything's going right in front of him.
This time a little better job by the Chargers on the serve. But it's Lasalle and it's Abdul Razak getting the inside hit.
That's right. I always have my right. You'd be an outside hitter here, the pin hitter. I want him fronting the setter. He was behind him. It was wide open for him to take that. Plus, he's just bigger.
Service error will give the Chargers the point, and the service here. 7-5 is the score here in the second set. LaSalle leads 1-0 here in this RIIL Boys 2023 Division I Volleyball Championship. Big swing from the back row, and it lands in.
That was opposite of where he should have served. He had his outside hitter pulled up, and he and Jack Johnson, if he had served that seam, you would have taken them both out of the offense right off the bat.
Abdul Razak's opportunity to serve now. His last time out, he committed a service error, so let's see. He's able to get it over. Chariho is having a difficult time with their serve receptions here today. From the back row, big boom by Tiernan.
And he's going to have some success from back there because he can see the court and just use them. Again, when he's off the net, he's just got to stay off the net. That's just too easy a serve.
The float serve comes near side. They're not going to call a double hit, but the ball does fall out of bounds off of a Chariho player, and it's a point for LaSalle. Good job by the official on the far side. Eyes were right there on it, and as a secondary Charger player hit it, he said, no, it's not a double hit. Unfortunately for the Chargers, there was nobody in the vicinity to keep it from landing. I like the aggressiveness here by the Rams trying to serve deep.
Well, I actually think what you haven't seen, like that, I have no problem right now. Chariho's got to go after the serve. And you see that in the men's game a lot. There's a lot more missed serves because they're really attacking it to keep the person, the other team out of the system because it's first ball kill. At higher level you get, there's not as many rallies.
Right.
And what you've seen here is every time they serve it easy, the play lasts like 1.4 seconds because it's just over.
As we saw from the very fast first set here.
Yeah.
A 25-15 win for the Rams. A miss hit on the set, and it's now 11-7 Rams here in the second set.
Tiernan, that was a smart play. He was going to try and go and hit three, and I think he'd have had it. But right now, Pawlowski's up in the front row. He's going to have to figure out a way. Keep him off.
Able to hit. Is that in?
Yes.
That is in. I couldn't see the flag from here, but the official on the chair umpire pointing, yes, it's good.
And he's got a little bit smaller block in front of him right now with Evans. Evans is up in the air, though.
Big boom.
What he did. Right now, I've been serving the deep one spot. There you go. That's the spot. Makes it much harder for him to run on.
Abdul Razak comes near side, but Jameer Evans runs into the block. We're tied at 11, and that's going to force a timeout for the Rams. We'll take it with them. When we come back to the Murray Center, we'll have second half.
Important to see.
That's a smart move there by Cody Poplowski.
Because what's happened is Johnson has just been cheating into the middle, and he can go back behind him. Now he's back row. So he's back to having 3 hitters.
Abdul-Razak delivers far side. Good block there by Travis Plant. Again, the opportunity. Good dig by the Chargers. Legal block.
There's the net.
And it is now 13-12. It's the first lead for the Chargers since the first set. Johnson from the pen, the big boom, and Brandon Knowles can't handle it. We're tied at 13. Now, Robin, when you say, for some who aren't too in tune into volleyball, when you say take it in 2, obviously the first touch is the serve reception. 2, you mean that very next hit, take it.
Yeah, that was like, there was a dig, and he could have swung right off the dig. He didn't need to set someone out.
Great job setting up Tiernan to the outside, and he breaks the block. 14-13 Chargers.
Well, and Tiernan knows these guys. They play on the same club team. So, you know, he knows what he can and can't do against them. Oh, that just stinks. There's nothing you can do about that. He was in the right spot.
Brandon Knowles with the double touch off the Abulame.
I just kind of stuck.
Yeah. Tied up at 14 here. Each team trading points so far. Wow, I guess you could call it point-wise, just about midway through the second set. Knowles from the back row, easily handled by the Rams. Johnson from the back row, that's in.
Yeah, that's a nice play.
His eyes lit up as the middle of the back row was wide open for Chariho as they were cheating up to the net.
You know, right now in this set, like in this rotation, I'd love to see them let Knowles just hit right side. Just leave him over there for that first swing from the right side because he's so much bigger than Lacey. Now he's back row, so. But he's an athletic guy, so I bet he could take a good swing from there.
Plant with the service. Nothing too difficult for Lasalle to handle.
He needs to, he's got to serve tougher.
And a miss hit by Poplawski, and it's 16-15 Lasalle, and they have service. Abdul-Razak. Misplay by Tiernan. Abdul-Razak on a missed set. Chargers able to kind of gain control. Tiernan from the back row gets a little help from the net, and Lisi knocked it down a little for the Rams.
So tight.
That was too tight. Well, no, they're going to say net violation against the Rams.
Yeah.
So we're all tied up at 16.
So right now, if you're defending Lasalle, Lasalle's number 7 has seen 1 attempt. Like, I would be just, there's a second. He's not swinging real tough. He's a lefty.
And that's Lisi. Lisi with the opportunity to play that ball above the net, and he quickly sends it back down. And now he's on service for the Rams.
There you go.
Little behind the back tip by Poplawski. That's the second time he's done that this set, and each time it's resulted in a point.
It's been open, and because Johnson's been cheating in. Well, he cheats way in to try to help on the middle block.
Too deep of a service. It's a service mistake, and LaSalle will get the ball. 18-17 here. Get a quick substitution for the Rams, and we'll resume play here. Before that happens, do we have a timeout on the floor? No, we do not.
I think he was looking for a towel.
18-17 Rams to serve is Ty Cotta. It's coming to the near
Nice
pin.
swing.
What a swing. And we're going to get a point here for the Chargers. Tiernan with the big bomb, and Abdul Razak could not handle it.
He's got the smaller blocker in front of him right now, and that's what we talked about that at first.
The point here for the 18-17 Rams to serve is Ty Cotta. It's coming to the near
Nice
pin.
swing.
What a swing. And we're going to get a point here for the Chargers. Tiernan with the big bomb, and Abdul Razak could not handle it.
He's got the smaller blocker in front of him right now, and that's what we talked about that at first set. He did get the ball out there.
Jameer Evans is that smaller blocker on that pin. Johnson.
There you go. That's a nice block, too. Thumbed it right to him.
Tiernan gets denied at the net. Opportunity here for the Chargers. They got to put it over here. Free play for the Rams. Let's see if they can convert. Far pin. Carry. That one you can see from about a mile away, and it's 19-18 Rams.
Interestingly here, they're calling it much tighter than they have in Connecticut and some of the men's game. They really are starting to loosen it up in the men's game to the point where it's like, whoa. But that's the way it is internationally. So.
To the near pin. Tiernan, great dig there by Ty Cotta. Johnson tried to pull a Poplawski, go behind the back. Tiernan again denied by Abdul Razak and Abdulame, and it goes to the middle, and Poplawski this time swinging forward.
That's taking it in two. Like they have to do some things that are not traditional to really take them by surprise.
Poplawski on service, 19-all here in the second set. Johnson denied at the nets. 20-19, Chariho.
Yeah, he was trying to cut that inside. Did a little wrist away, a little too much.
Travis Plant was there for the Chargers on a big block. Just long on the service, and it's tied at 20.
One of the things that Chariho's done much better this game, they're hitting way better than they were the first one, and they've really limited Lasalle. Oh, nice try.
LaSalle goes up 21-20.
Last set, LaSalle hit 450. Right now, they're only hitting 143 as a team. So that's the keeping them out of system that we talked about.
And a service mistake ties this up at 21.
Put some pressure on them, and that's all they needed.
The great teams can play through that pressure and adversity.
Yeah, that was, now that's, Tiernan's smart enough, that's not where he wanted to serve the ball.
No, it wasn't. A valiant effort by Azanaro to try to go down and lay his hand flat and
Get a pancake?
yeah,
That's what they call it.
makes sense. Flat as a pancake. 22-21 Rams. Tiernan with the serve reception goes right back to Tiernan in the middle. Denied!
And that's one where he should have set the right side. That was a perfect time to set the right side because they were angling thinking it was Tiernan.
Connor Lewis at the net denying Tiernan.
And Lisi's the blocker, so he's got a smaller blocker over on the right side.
Ooh, serve reception by the Chargers, which may have been long. Near pin on the hit was Knowles, easily handled. Back row is Johnson. Set point for the Rams.
They're there. They're just a little bit early. That's the hardest thing is the different timing you have to do, and it's from the back row.
Timeout, Chariho. We'll take a quick one.
Favorite.
Back at the Murray Center, 24-21 Rams. Set point for LaSalle in order to take a commanding 2-0 lead here in the D1 Boys Championship for the RIL.
And right now, I'd love to see it go to Lasalle.
A miss hit on the service. And just like that, Chariho is down 2-0. We'll take a break. When we come back,
That's just a really tall team.
Robin Lamont Sparks, George Bannister here with you from the Murray Center. We're live courtside alongside Sydney Sparks, who's providing stats for us and has been doing a great job. That's why we're able to kind of tune into those numbers and see how everybody's hitting to extend this match. Abdul-Razak leaves it back for Johnson. Easily handled by the Chargers on the other side. And then utilizing the block is Tiernan on the far side, and it's 1-0 Chargers.
Bobrowski's done a better job of keeping the ball off the net for him. You know, the first set, everything was so tight. He trap set him constantly into the block.
Not often we saw a left-hand swing coming from Jameer Evans on the far pin, but we see one there, and he gets the point, 1-1. Third set action. Again, Lasalle leads 2-0 here. Bit of a difficult play. Free ball here for the Chargers. Can they capitalize? Tiernan on the outside pin. Dug out by the Rams. Good set by Abdul-Razak. Coming in for the kill is Johnson.
Yeah, he got a good approach there. I mean, he's been off balance a lot, but that one is not off balance at all.
For neither,
and he knew where the smaller blocker was.
For neither Abdul-Razak or Johnson, who, as Robin said, he's not particularly hitting the ball well today, but when he has to, he has. No double hit call. On the tip, it's the Chargers with almost like a free play. That's Abulame saying, return the sender.
That's a really tough, that's tough for Tiernan to hit because it was coming down the line over his shoulder. I mean, you can do that, but that one, he's really at a disadvantage because he's got to watch the ball. He can't see the blocker.
That's something that he would benefit if he's in the back row rather than up front.
It would actually been better if he had sent the ball across court to somebody.
Evans tries to go cross court, not there. And the tip by Johnson beats the Chargers defense. 4-1 Rams here in the third set.
And that's smart. If your swing's not there, find the hole, put the ball there. Like you don't get style points. It's all worth one.
Taikata on service for the Rams. Too deep. But I like the aggressiveness. I like the approach there. And it's 4-2 Rams now. Chargers on the service. And it's James Azanaro to do the honors. Rams can't handle it. And it turns to 4-3.
Azanaro has done actually a really nice job of picking them apart every time he served. You can see there. That was just a great spot to put the ball on. That's playing.
Abulame and Johnson on the block. You were saying that was a good place to put the ball.
He had him, he hit the seam between the outside, and so because your back row player wants to take it, he cut off right in front of Johnson, which took Johnson out of the play. So he had to tip the ball. And then you just got to hope that, you got to dig and convert.
Serve reception by the Chargers. On the outside, they're going to, Lasalle was asking for an illegal hit as
he blocked it out of bounds. He was kind of hoping, like, look at them, they're talking to each other. They play together, you can tell.
Oh yeah, Abulame and Tiernan sharing some kind words, I'm sure, near the nets. Abdul-Razak, Johnson tries to go middle. Good job by Tiernan to dig that out. Free ball here for the Rams. What can they do with it? It's Abulame, but he hit the nets. No, they're going to say the Chargers, the chair umpire is going to overrule it.
I thought he was going to call a double.
6-4, Rams on service here. It's Johnson to do the honors. Deep serve, catches the line. It's 7-4, an ace for Johnson.
Yeah, right down the seam. The two of them didn't even talk to each other.
Tries to go deep again. That one was headed out of bounds. It's kept, but an illegal hit on the far side by Esposado at the pin, and it's 8-4 LaSalle. I understand the mindset from Azanaro, and now he had a service error, which will give Chariho a point and a service. I understand if you're Azanaro, you kind of feel like you got to make something happen. But if your entirety of the team and your bench is yelling long, let that ball go.
Yeah, you're concentrating sometimes. You just don't hear them.
Be denied on the near pin as Lisi, as Plant comes up with a big block.
And that's where they want to see the set go. I mean, and put that block in front of them.
One of the few times we've seen Lisi denied at a pin. Abdul Razak going behind the back. And yes, that is legal.
That was a great play.
I love the Chariho bench. Haley's going behind the back.
And put that block in front of them.
One of the few times we've seen Lisi denied at a pin. Abdul Razak going behind the back. And yes, that is legal.
That was a great play.
I love the Chariho bench. Haley Sawyer and Lucas Marlin were saying, hey, wait a minute.
You don't see that very often. He took two hands and he flipped it like he was sent forward but went backwards.
Right. Poplawski had used one hand each time, and I think they thought because of the two hands it was an illegal touch. This time, Azanaro lets that one go long, and it's 9-7 the score. And the Chargers with the opportunity to serve, and it's Travis Plant to do the honors.
So right now, you know the ball's going out to Lisi. Oh,
In the middle it
only the
goes.
fourth time he's hit a ball match.
Connor Lewis, that's something else we were talking about during our break, is Connor Lewis hasn't had many opportunities for a touch.
No.
As you just mentioned, Robin, just his fourth.
Well, and not only that, this setter, or the middle blocker, Tony Christensen, forgot he's a lefty. He blocked his right arm, so he was wide open on the left side arm.
Trying to go opposite is Brandon Knowles. Could have been a net violation. It's going to be a good ball from the back row, and it's now 11-7 Rams.
Yeah, Connor Lewis got the net. They missed that one.
A couple of Chariho players were pointing at the net. Abdul Razak on service does his job. Ball has to come over, sort of a free ball, but Lasalle almost misplayed it. Free ball here for the Chargers. Can they take advantage? Back row! Bomb by Tiernan, denied by the Rams. This one has to go over. That should have been a carry, not called. That one goes wide, and it's 12-7. I'm surprised that wasn't called a carry after the previous two had.
Yeah, you know, I think it's because it was an athletic move, and it's also the hardest spot to call as an official when you look it straight down. It really is.
And she would know, she's also an official. So, 12-7 Rams coming near side. Trying to go opposite is Spazzato. He hits it too wide, and it's 13-7. Ball was a little behind him, but he could still have a little control on that hit.
Yeah, he's trying to transition off the net a little bit further. I think the problem is that, you know, they've been sent so tight, which doesn't need. So he quit transitioning as far as he can.
Wins Spazzato to do the honors, trailing 13-8.
Straight down the line. Yep.
Abdul Razak sets from the middle. Johnson from the back row, denied by Tiernan. Far pin, coming in with a big swing is Brandon Knowles, and it's 13-9.
Yeah, he's needed to do that. He hasn't had many good swings, but right now, keep serving down the line. That's right between the two outside hitters. There you go. That takes Johnson out of the back row.
Lisi up front. They're going to say into the net was Lisi, so 13-10.
That's where he needs to keep the serve right now.
Some sort of tape on the net came dislodged, so far side official coming over to pick it up. Chargers with 2 straight points here, trying to get some more. Lisi, point for Lasalle as he used the hands of Christensen to get that ball out of bounds.
Yeah, you're up a little bit early. He was way off the net. You gotta pause a little bit. Hard not to. Or hard to do.
You're so anxious.
Yeah, you just want to get up in the air.
14-10 LaSalle. They're on service. Chargers go far pin. Knowles tries to go back row with it. Johnson with a difficult set. Dug out by the Chargers. Knowles again. Tries to tip it. Good job by the defenders over there. Even though they're not going to get credited with the block, they denied them the chance to get to that open area.
Right, and they're really smart. They're standing on the line. They know if it's once it goes outside my foot, it's out.
That's Lewis and Evans who are out there for the Rams. It's a good serve. Let's see what the Chargers can do with it. Knowles mishits it into the net. 16-10 LaSalle.
Knowles has got to reach. He's dropping his arm because he's thinking the roll shot. He's got to stay high.
Lisi on service for the Rams. Commits an error, 16-11. Chariho, here's an opportunity.
And the ball's going to go to Johnson. You know that. This rotation. So this makes it more difficult. There you go.
Johnson had to wait for it. Off the back row, they try to tip it over. Good read there by Lewis. Denied him. Johnson. The swing and the point, 17-11. Good job by the Chariho defenders getting to the pin, but Johnson used the inside defender's hand to knock it off.
Right, and he's talking to him right now about where he needs the ball.
Chargers off the service, trying to go far side. Abulame with the block at the net.
That's when Christensen just go up and take it.
Timeout.
He's much better above the height of the net than trying.
It's Marlin, and you were sitting.
Part of it, he's off the setter, and the ball hasn't gotten where he really wants it in order to take a really good approach. So they were just having the discussion after the last one.
18-11 Rams on service is Ty Cotta. Not that great of a set, and there's the illegal fourth touch, and it's 19-11. Poplawski was on the move as he was trying to set Tiernan on the outside.
Yeah, and that's one of those that you have to teach a setter. As you're running forward, you just set it above your head and keep going. It's hard because you keep thinking, you have to adjust where your contact is.
Good serve reception here for the Chargers. It goes right back to Tiernan, but he sent it too far long, and it's 20-11.
Yeah. And Tiernan just turned to Poplawski. He's like, he's too high and too tight. Like, there's not what I'm going to be able to do about that. If you're going to go tight, it's going to have to be really fast so you can beat the blocker.
It's interesting. Eric Roop from the Providence Journal was with us between sets 1 and 2, and he told us LaSalle is typically the team who's had difficulty passing, but in this game, it's been Chariho with the difficulty.
Yeah, they really have. Their service team has not been real clear. Big stage for him to be on. And Poplawski's been a little bit all over the place. I'm going to guess nerves is a lot of it. He's only a sophomore, so this is a big stage for him to be on.
Abdu Razak, what a placement for Abulame. After the service reception, Razak was in a difficult position, but he set up Abulame beautifully for that kill.
Those two really have great timing. And the thing is, he's so high when contact when he sets. It's nice for him to have a hitter that's actually up there with him. He's not setting lower than him.
Service catches the line, 22-11. We haven't seen many aces.
Well, right there, you've got someone standing on the back line that should be telling everybody it's in. And he just stood there and didn't say anything. That doesn't help his baskets.
22-12. LaSalle 3 points away from their second title. Excuse me, their third title. Apologies. Razak coming near side. Johnson tries to go opposite. Dig goes wide, 23-12.
Johnson made a nice adjustment there. That ball was wider than he expected.
And we can see Eric Rube getting ready for his social media shot for the championship, as he has. He had a great shot last night of Lincoln winning its first ever program title. This will be the third title for LaSalle if they hold on here. The block stays on their side of the net. It goes to 23-13. What does Chariho have to do lot to keep the Rams off the board here for the next couple of points.
They need to serve to the far corner and keep it over there like that, so that they're going to take them out of system right off the bat.
Abdul Razak has to get it over. Free ball for the Chargers. It goes far side. Tiernan denied at the net by Abulame. This ball has to go over. Free ball for the Rams, and instead of playing it,
so high.
Abulame wide, and it'll be a point for Chariho.
Love the way they ran that on a transition, though. That quick, that was great. Bulume's moving really well. He's going to be something else.
I like Abulame's aggressiveness there, not allowing. It was the first touch that he was trying to get back over the net. One of the few times we're going to say this, great service by the Chargers. Lasalle on the run here. Abulame has to get it over. Free ball for the Chargers. Oh, a miss hit. Set and match point for the Rams. 24-14. Lasalle looking for its third title. Big boom by Johnson. There it is!
That is a great serve. That's probably the best serve we saw from him all night. All afternoon. And you saw at that game, you know, Chariho as well as